baile Rodríguez Peña, el mocho y el cachapaz, de la milonga porteña que nunca más volverá. Carnavales de mi vida, noches bravas y al final, los estudiantes de las pibas en aquel viejo arrabal.
Maybe there's a Montana thing, I think there's an American thing about having lots of space around you. And this is a dance where you're close embrace, body to body with somebody. And that culturally is something you have to get over in order to get into tango. I never thought of myself as a dancer, and I recently divorced. A good friend of mine in Helena thought I would enjoy it.
Well, we've got a big, huge tango festival coming up in just 2 weeks, and it's the first one in Montana that has 2 world-class instructors simultaneously teaching classes.
It's exciting for me, and it's part of my desire is to see it grow. But it is in danger, so if there's a few people that leave or move out or things happen, then it could just dissolve, basically. And partly because Helena's not a big community, and tango's not a really easy dance to learn.
We're always trying to get people to join tango. It's like a constant, you can never stop advertising and trying to get new people to join. I saw Tango Helena's flyers all around town, those relentlessly flying, the same thing all the time. And I was like, that looks kind of interesting, but also seemed boring too. I didn't really know what it was, is the real fact. And I was like, I'm not interested, but I kind of want to dance, so yes. I was hoping it was salsa or something. We are on people's radar as a place where there's people who know how to tango. I feel like there's a marked kind of change where people were first like, Montana? You guys are dancing tango out there? Wow! And now they're like, oh yeah, I'm so glad to see the Montana people. I think it's so great that you guys have tango there. I mean, there's still a little bit aw, you guys are cute. You're trying to dance tango in Montana.
People out there, right? In New York, they would be like, where? There is tango in Helena? We're like, I know, we have no idea, but we're invited, so we're gonna go and find out.
The concept of it is 2 sets of teachers teaching classes simultaneously, so people will have an option for almost every time slot. 2 classes at the same time, little break, 2 classes at the same time, little break.
We were gonna dress up Joe as a bellboy, but he wouldn't. Sometimes.
Our kind of the core group of volunteers has spent hours and hours and hours working on this in one way or another.
It feels like, and this is something people say about Montana in general, that it is one big city. More so than a big city where, people wouldn't go 50 or 60 miles to tango. In Montana, they do.
2 nights a week, 150 miles round trip. And then up here for the Monday night lessons.
In that sense, it's a healthy community, but it's just much more large and spread out.
So how many miles a week do you usually drive for tango?
Oh, well, okay, 300, 360. Do that for about another 5 years, and, I might know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll do 5.
take some risk now in the beginning and in the body of the phrase. Do some turns. There are numbers of aspects when you dance. One is learning the music, one is learning and memorizing all these steps, another one is connecting the partner and learning the embrace, another one that is a bunch of aspects. One of these aspects is the social aspect. And if the social aspect is set well, no matter if it's a small community like Helena or big one like New York or San Francisco or Berlin, it will somehow put people together. And if people are together, they will want to continue dancing. Nice, I like that. I like your timing of cross there.
The reason why people quit had nothing to do with the teachers, had nothing to do with the music, had nothing to do with anything except whether or not they felt welcome.
A roommate in my freshman year of college, she came from this small parochial school. She had gone to a private school and it was like Episcopalian or something in Texas. And their school was so small, they couldn't have a football team. They didn't have like any athletics. And the thing that the school did was Scottish dancing. They were like, we're gonna Scottish dance the out of this. Like, they were so into Scottish dancing. And it's not like, oh, we don't have enough Scottish people to like really get a Scottish dancing community going. They were just like, well, this is what we can do. We're gonna get really good at Scottish dancing. And I think like that can be tango for Helena.
Thank you very much for joining us. It was our first class. Easy.
We could say, yeah, it's a small community, but there's like no other dance communities. Like, we have our pick. We're the only show in town in some ways. Like, if you want to join a dance community and you want to like be around other adults doing something musical and creative and fun, you should join Tango Helena. Like, what else are you going to do? Nothing.
When we first came to Helena last year, we were really impressed because they definitely have their stuff together. Boise is like, I'm sure it's how Helena was a couple years ago. We're a little fragmented, but those fragmented pieces are like coming together to form a more cohesive unit right now.
I mean, increasingly, I'm less and less surprised because it seems like you can go anywhere in the world and find pockets of tango in the most unexpected places.
I was dating a woman and we, took other classes, other kinds of swing and some ballroom classes. And I liked them, but they didn't catch me in the same way tango did. So there's a quality in tango that I like that kind of forces you to be present in the moment, connecting with yourself, being in your body, connecting with a partner, being responsive and receptive. There's a give and take in what's happening in the dance, connecting with the music, and also just feeling this connection to a community while you're dancing where everyone's like in the same breath of the music and then moving again. There's something that I've been attracted to for most of my life around group consciousness, being in groups who are all on the same page or having some kind of an experience. And I think tango has given me more of that.
For me, it's like soul food. The nice thing about smaller communities is that there is more of a sense of community. When you go into New York, you can't really talk about the New York tango community because there's so much going on, and of course, when you have 1,000 people dancing or whatever, you can't be one group. Naturally, there's a tipping point. And if you come to places like here or smaller, it's like you really get to know the group really works together, so there's much more sort of familial sense.
al rezongar el bandoneón, un milongón criollo.
The comfort of the embrace and the connection are more important than even being with the music. That sometimes it's possible to be more with the music than with your partner. And there's just sort of a chemistry thing. It's like when you talk with someone, some people you vibe with and some people you don't. And what is that? That some people you go into the embrace, you take one step and it's just, it's there.
That I come to Tango after a divorce and was really looking for a connection, but through dance started to meet a lot of just wonderful people. And I met my wife Lori through Tango here in Missoula.
That makes me worry, potentially, that the things that are so fulfilling to me about being a dancer in Tango Helena will be like gone if I'm in a community in a big city. Does that make sense? Like friendships and comfort?
Entre mis manos y este cielo de verano que partió.
Si soy así, ¿qué voy a hacer?